Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's Joku. Sorry I missed last week. I was out of town with the family. But honestly, what could you really say after that game? We got punched in the mouth by arguably one of the worst teams in football in our home opener. Carolina came in and whipped our ass. And a bunch of dudes apparently made business decisions moving forward. And by the end of that game, I was seriously hoping that Pierce made some decisions about our coaching staff. Mainly my favorite, Luke Getsy, because that dude, still to this day, is a true piece of shit. He had zero game plan for that Carolina game, and he had zero game plan for this Cleveland game. There is zero reason why we should not have blown out the last two teams that we have played, and the reason is his scheme completely blows. That Carolina game, for as embarrassing as that shit was, we just have to put it behind us. We go into our next home game, and it's versus Cleveland. They come out, get 10-0 in the first quarter, and I'm sitting here thinking it's going to be the same shit again, but this team honestly fought back. Our defense saved our asses, and we actually established a run game this week. And I'm going to play Captain Obvious right here. Madison should be our number one running back, and Zamir White should spell him. That's not a knock on Zamir White. That dude is a hell of a lot better playing that spellback. If you have a big-ass power back who has proven over the first 4 weeks that he is still an established number one running back in this league, and you refuse to make that swap, you're setting this team up for failure. I get it. There's not shit that we can do about the quarterback situation. We have to deal with what we have right now on this roster. But there are little tweaks that you can make around him on the offensive and defensive side of the ball that's going to make this team a hell of a lot better. And making that flip-flop at running back is going to make a world of fucking difference. They need to pull the trigger on that. This team is being plagued by injuries, but I saw a ton of dudes step the fuck up today that could make a huge impact moving forward. And so I'm just going to give you the people that I would change out right now or just get them more involved. With Madison, of course, being the number one change. But outside of that, Trey Tucker needs to get 100% more involved in this offense. That kid is a true playmaker. Congratulations, you are the new slot receiver on this team. Nobody else is going to jump in front of you because you have earned that shit and it is yours now. So now we have a new running back one. We have a true slot receiver who's making plays on a weekly basis, and we move into that offensive line. Parham ended up going down, but what did I see today? The running game was finally established. Over 100 yards rushing. Granted, it was for different backs, but that offensive line was opening up holes today. For the first time this entire season, that was a huge difference maker. You make a few minor tweaks to this offensive line. All of a sudden, we're opening up running lanes. All of a sudden, we have a little extra protection. Adams and Jacoby Myers have a little extra time to take that one more step that springs them wide open. That shit makes a world of difference. That's when we start getting those chunk plays. That's when the play action really starts going off. That's when this team actually turns a fucking corner and turns into somebody that can be a true contender. The last thing on the offensive side of the ball, and this shit may or may not happen, the number one thing that we need to do, bench Minshew. I hate to say that shit because I was really hoping Minshew Mania was going to take off, but what I've seen over the first 4 weeks is a subpar quarterback that cannot get the job done. And granted, today, he had a few drop balls that would have been huge plays. But overall, over the first 4 weeks, what I've seen from him, you're going to get that from Aiden O'Connell, or you're going to get better. That kid literally has nothing to lose. He is going to take those shots. He had the team completely backing him going into this season, and then at the last minute we said, oh, Minshew's going to be the starter. That fucked with a lot of people in that locker room. You need to go ahead and make that change. New quarterback, new running back, got a new slot, tweak your offensive line, and this offense is looking completely different. Nobody's going to know what to expect from that shit. You're going to have speed, you're going to have power, you're going to have an established running game, you'll have a receiving core that everybody respects, and that shit's going to open up Brock Bowers completely. And that's when that kid is truly going to reach his pinnacle. If you think I'm wrong, please tell me, man. Put that shit in the comments, because I honestly think we are so fucking close. We just need to tweak a few little things. Then moving over to the defensive side of the ball, it was pretty obvious by the actions taken by the Raiders today, even though our defense was completely depleted. Having Jack Jones sit the first half on his ass on the bench spoke volumes. He was clearly one of those dudes that made a decision going into last week. I really think that if we had like our full defense available to us, you would not have seen Jones hit the field once. My biggest takeaway from today's game was the fact that we did not have Max Crosby. We did not have Epps. Kuntz is done for the year. We didn't have have Divine Diablo, but the dudes in the second and third string that truly want this shit and truly want to be a part of this team stepped up in a huge way. And the dudes that are out there grinding week in and week out like Spillane, who's arguably becoming one of the best linebackers in football, came out and had a huge day and saved our asses. Snowden, who I hated and really didn't understand why he had a roster spot, showed me today that I'm an idiot because he won it for us. Palomeo, Chasen, Eichenberg, Robinson, all those dudes, Adam Butler stepped up, had huge games. Not even everybody. Tyree Wilson stepped up, and I honestly thought that kid was a wash. I hate saying that because that kid has so much fucking potential, but today he reminded me of Kuntz like last season, where he was almost getting there, he was making the bend. At the end of the day, he was putting consistent pressure on Deshaun. He showed me once again, like, just give me a chance. Let me be out there. I will make it to the fucking quarterback, and I will start finishing this. His ass needs to step up now that Kuntz is gone. He needs to take advantage of his opportunities, show that he can be a difference maker in this rotation. We need his ass right now more than ever. For a first round pick, that was the time in your career to say fuck it and make that shit happen. Because if you don't, you're going to be out of the league next year. And the other change on that defensive line, keep Adam Butler more in this rotation. Keep his ass involved in every single game. He was a difference maker today. We have to have impact players across that defensive line. We got two, but we need to fill in the rest of those damn spots. Jumping behind the line and getting into those linebackers, we have to have a solid three-man linebacker core. And we're close, but we're not there yet. And a lot of dudes shit on Diablo, and I get that. But when that kid's fully healthy and he is on his game, he has a ton of potential. And him and Spillane work well together. I'm not going to count that dude off yet, because I really think between Diablo and Spillane, you have your number one and number two linebacker. We just need to find that number three. We have a decent rotation behind him, but one of these dudes needs to step the fuck up. I really thought it was going to be Masterson. I honestly did. He's showing me he's more of a rotational piece. I know he played pretty good today. I know I backed him for a long time, but he is a good rotational piece. Tommy's not there yet, and Snowden, like I said, has to show me a little bit more. He showed he can make the big play today, but he has to show consistency, because with consistency, you don't get into the situations that we were in today. Was it Chasen? I know he was playing defensive end today. I know he dropped back and was playing a little bit of linebacker. Can that dude fill that gap and be the third person that we need in that core? And then we have the other two rotating in behind him? It really doesn't look too terrible to me. I really like that moving forward, especially if we have some pieces on the defensive line that can fill that rotation. Then all of a sudden we have a great defensive line rotation. We have a great linebacker rotation. And then you move into that secondary. And this is really pissing me off, even though they are riddled with injuries right now. And Trayvon, congratulations on that pick today. That shit was beautiful, and we desperately needed it. There were other times where our secondary was completely torched, and it was a flag that saved our asses and saved this game. Amari Cooper almost completely fucked us in this, and we all saw that happen. And on top of that, we were leaving the center of the field completely open. But since Jack Jones played like a bitch last week and made some business decisions, we had to suffer through him sitting out. But I saw some things that I think might actually work. And this one, which I'm not even believing that I'm saying this out loud, I have preached for years now of why you leave him in the nickel. Move Nate Hobbs outside. There, I said it. It is what it is. Leave Bennett on the other side, and I was so damn happy that he was able to come back into this game because I thought that kid was really hurt. Please, if you are hurt, heal up. This only works if you are in the game. So now you have Bennett on one side, Hobbs on the other, and then I'm going to say you have Jack Jones kind of rotate in. Take Holmes over Jack Jones at this point. The kid is out there and finally getting an opportunity, and he's going to give you everything he fucking has to make that happen. As you can obviously tell, I'm pretty pissed off at Jack Jones right now, and I'm sure the Raiders are too. One of two things are going to happen. He's either going to step the fuck up, or he's going to be gone by the trade deadline, or just flat out cut, because he has pissed off everybody at this point. There you have it. We have a new offense. We have a new defense. Our special teams are good as shit. And we go into Denver next week with them not knowing what to expect, and we blow their fucking socks off. This team is 2-2 with a hell of a lot of football to play, and I really think if you make these little ass changes, we could end up being a serious contender. Will they do it? I don't know. Should they do it? I don't see why not. You're not going to fucking lose anything. Sorry, I know I rambled on for a minute, but I had 2 weeks to cover and I had a lot of shit to say. Let me know what you guys really think. What would you do different? I wish I had more time to draw this shit up. I really just don't right now. But what would you do different? How would you tweak each positional group where this team could put its best foot forward and we can go out there and be the team that we are fucking supposed to be? Because we're close and it's driving me insane. Hit me up, nation. 2-2, baby. We've got a lot of football to play.